What's good everybody? In this video, I want to share with you guys how I flipped this NFT for about 0.75 Ethereum profit, which is about 2.5k currently, in just 12 hours. If you guys want to know how I did it, stay tuned. Just to summarize how I flip NFTs using Rarity. So firstly, I will head on to IC2s to find out which collection has the most volume currently. So what fits into this criteria is I need to see collections with more than 200, best if the collection has 300 over sales in an hour. And my next step, which is the second step, I'll head on to their social pages, their Twitter, their Discord. I'll find out a little bit more of their project, who is in the project, who is the team, is it anonymous, is it founded by someone famous? And thirdly, I'll then head on to OpenSea. I'll check out their activity page, then I'll check out their floor. And fourth step, I will limit my search by searching the individual rarities. I'll find those that have rarities that have limited supply. And then lastly, I'll buy in and then we wait until we hit our target price. So just some context of how I flipped this. I saw this NFT collection called Agents popping off on IC2s. It has so much volume yesterday. I think yesterday's 24-hour volume was more than 2,000 sales. Yeah, that's very insane. That doesn't always happen. But yeah, I got in. I bought this one, a pretty rare one. So I found this trade which is pretty rare. I think it only had about 10 to 13 of this rarity. Pretty limited supply. And so I went in to check the recently sold. I bought in at about 0.95 ETH right over here. And in 12 hours later, I flipped it for about 0.75 Ethereum profit. So in this video, I'll share with you guys how I did this. Firstly, we go on to IC2s, look at the trending. And just to note, IC2s is free. You're using it for free, but the only thing is you can't look at the 30-minute or 15-minute time frame. But anyway, the free version is still good and I've been using it. Okay, so firstly, what do? I'll just look at the collections right here and look at the sales. So right now, Irene DAOWN is currently at the top, but this is just a derivative of, the Irene DAO that has popped off recently the last few days. So I wouldn't be showing you guys how to flip for that because they have no rarities obviously. What I want to share with you guys is this collection called the Rebels. Now it has about 283 sales the past hour. So what's the next step? After you find out about a collection with pretty good sales, you then head on to their social pages, which I won't show you in this video, okay? Just find out about the team, are there any notable buyers for this project, etc. And then I will head on to their OpenSea. Right now it's sitting at about 0.097 floor. It's a 10k collection. Pretty big collection, but right now there's good enough volume for me, so it's fine. Next, I will then hit to, on the left of OpenSea, you can see all these filters. Click on buy now. And then over here, if you scroll down, you can see the different kinds of rarities and traits that all these NFTs have. So what do you concentrate on, right? There's so many of them. So the most important trait that most people will look to buy is definitely not the brows, the earrings, or the eyeballs. You want to find good traits like backgrounds, hairstyle, headpieces, and of course, the outfit. So right now, I'll just show you an example. The best trait to snipe and flip if you are new is definitely outfits because that's the first thing that catches people's attention. So click on outfit and here you can see the different kinds of outfits and traits that this collection has. Then on the right side, you can see how many of this certain trait is there. So you definitely not want to buy the first few because there's too much supply. You want to scroll all the way down and search for this kind of limited supply. Okay, all these are still pretty high. It's better to snipe and flip a trait which has about less than 15 supply. So right now I can't show you an example of this, Okay, so since this collection does not have a supply of less than 15 for any of these trades, I will not try to rarity flip for this collection because it will be definitely harder than normal. Since the outfit trade has pretty high supply, right, for all of these outfits, I would show you another example, which is Agent, the collection that I did my flip. So what I first did was I hit down to buy now, as always. Now scroll down, I search for apparel, which is outfit basically, which is the same thing. I scroll all the way down, and here you can see all the supply are very limited, which is very good for rarity flipping. So I went to click on all the individual ones. All these are usually priced very high. If you manage to be able to get it at very cheap prices, then go for it. But right now, let's just find one which has about, okay, let's say 11 supply of the apparel called Noah. So I'll click on it. This is the one that I actually flipped for. Okay, here we can see all the ones that are currently listed, right? The current floor for the Noah trade is at 1.99 ETH, and then it'll go up by 2, 2.2, 2.88, and then so on. So if you want to go for a flip, right now, since the pricing is pretty close together, I wouldn't look to flip this specific trade. Then I'll move on to another trade. Let's say this one, Dairy Lanja. Only has about 11 of this specific trade. I click on buy now, means there are only currently 6 listed. So right now the floor for this Dairy Lanja trade is about 2.88. The next one will be on at 3 ETH already, and then 3.5, and then jump to 8 ETH. So at this point, if you think the collection will continue to have a good amount of sales in the next few hours, you might be interested in sniping this piece for 2.88 ETH. After you bought this, you want to list it at the next floor, maybe a little higher than 3, but below 3.5. So after this first one is bought by you, the floor will jump to 3 ETH, and then you are just basically waiting for this one to be sold off, and then your current one, the one you bought for, will be the next floor. So if there is consistent volume, there is a high chance that yours would be bought off in the next day or so. One more thing, before you make this buy, cancel the buy now first. Click on the recently sold tab. So why do I do this is I want to see what are the prices that people have bought this specific trade for. And so far, they have bought it at about 1.4 ETH, 1.79 ETH, 2.88 ETH, 1 ETH, 1 ETH. So let's hit to buy now again. So right now, as I said before, there are only 6 listings out of the 11 for this specific trade. And why do I hit to the recently sold? Was because I want to see what are the prices that people have bought it for before. So those who have bought it very low price, high chance when they see the floor is currently at about 2.88 ETH, right? They would definitely try to undercut you. And so if you have bought it at 2.88, there are chances where those people who bought it at a very low price, let's say below 1 ETH, they could just list it at about 1.5 ETH, and then they would have dropped the floor. And you would be at a loss, but they would be in profits. So get it? So you want to see whether the people who have bought this specific trade, did they buy in at a very low price, or did they buy in at around the same price as you? So if they bought it at the same price as you, around the 2 ETH regions and more, then you are good to go. You are safe to buy the floor for this specific trade. If they have minted it and then they haven't sold, or if they bought it at a very low price, then look for another trade, because there are high chances that they will definitely undercut your listing, and then it will be hard to flip for your specific NFT that you bought. So yeah, that's about it. Just disclaimer over here, rarity trade sniping and flipping is highly risky. Do only use the money you can afford to lose. But if you master this trade flipping, you would definitely earn a lot of money in just a few hours or a few days. And in my specific case, I flipped mine for 0.75 ETH profit in just 12 hours. So that is very possible, only if the collection has volume. Do not trade, snipe, and flip if the collection has no volume, because you would definitely suffer and you'll be left holding the bet. You'll be holding those NFTs at a way higher price than the floor, because definitely all this trade sniping is higher than the floor, right? So yeah, so that's about it. If you have more questions, please leave it down in the comment section below, or you can also DM me on Twitter at b_chick if you have more questions for me. Do always remember that the markets are always here, but your capital may not. Peace.